a different version of the GHR news recap over here. Got my friend on it from the podcast and on this one. So usually, before we started doing the podcast episodes, I would just, scroll through as many of the posts of the week that I could get through and just kind of talk about them, and that would be like the weekly news recap. You could just watch that video to get a rough idea of things, as opposed to scrolling through the whole week's worth of shit and trying to watch it all. And so we were talking about Demolition Man and how my friend here has never seen it. Why did that come up, other than we were talking about another movie? Yeah, you never seen I, Robot. What's up with that, man?
So when I see WALL-E, you know WALL-E?
Lolly. No.
It's like a Disney Pixar film, I think.
Let's talk about Omega Man with Charlton Heston. iRobot.
It just reminds me of iRobot because it's a freaking robot on
Will
the cover of
Smith
it.
basically totally ripped off the story from Charlton Heston's Omega Man. Like it's I Am Legend. It's not even like hiding it. Like it's kind of got that Logan's Run late 60s goofiness to it. But it's I Am Legend. It's whole same setup. Zombie apocalypse, basically. Will Smith, Charlton Heston.
I've heard of these movies, I just don't know really what they are.
These are like the great movies, man. Frickin' Demolition Man, THX 1138, with frickin' god damn, what's that guy's name? Damn, a whole dropper. I go like half. Frickin' damn, what's that guy's name now? From Lonesome Dove, the old guy, THX 1138, when he was mad young. Gonna have to look it up now. Robert Duvall, there you go. Didn't even have to use Google. See, I am the superior species, the dominant species on the planet. The movie Brazil, the movie Boys from Brazil, frickin'.
I know about the TV show,
frickin'.
but I don't even watch that either.
Frickin'. Course 1984, Metropolis.
I read 1984.
Yeah, well there you go. At least we did that, But so like I said over here in this clip, here, you can just read it, and the audience could too, potentially.
I became like them. I took up the sword, prayed I could win redemption through my deeds.
So how
I'm
much
just
time
thinking,
until you think you get to 1,000?
Oh, I don't know. It's been accelerating pretty quick. I mean, what was it like the late 800s last month or something?
On this road.
Are you getting them mostly from direct invites?
Well, no, it's other people. I can't even invite people anymore because Facebook glitches out every time I try to sign into one of my backup profiles. So I just been, making posts. Hey guys, invite your friends. The usual thing. I'll post a picture of the World Economic Forum and be like, evil doesn't have friends. They have other evil people they can barely tolerate being in the same room with. But you have friends. Invite them. The Green Hill Radio. Yeah. So this is all like running joke shit. And this group is the kind of thing where you need a Reddit investigation to understand how deep it is, because literally that line goes back to another short that was shared a while ago. Where's your sword? Pick up your sword again. But it was a car short. And then there's another one. There's like a song I shared a while back where the big line in it, it's a grunge song, Spell of the Minotaur by the Vril, which is crazy because
Vril
Vril as in one of those kind of guys. It's like
I
a
remember
European.
you told me about that.
Okay. So the
Vampire
album of
Night
this
Vision.
frickin' band is the Vril Black Sun. It's a frickin' but regardless, crazy ass good music. Frickin' these kind of like running jokes I like to do, where if you were watching it, you would notice, okay, just watched the movie K-Pax with Kevin Spacey, where he's an alien and he's locked up in the mental institution and he's telling the insane people, oh, look for the blue bird of happiness. You never seen K-Pax? It's a great,
No,
great,
I've heard of stuff like that.
great Kevin Spacey alien movie. But so he's telling the not so people, look for the blue bird of happiness, right? So then the following weekend we watch Paul, which is that movie where an alien comes down and fucking and I had like a couple other, what was the other movie I watched?
Wait, is it only one alien?
Yeah, Paul and Paul.
Is it the one about the guy who's like a humanoid alien
It's
with
the,
a suit?
No, it's the one where he's a pothead and it's Seth Rogen voicing it.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
I just thought of some like obscure movie that I don't know the name of.
Some other movie I posted had a scene. Some other movie I posted after the fact had a scene in it where a guy discovers a body. I can't for the life of me remember. We're going on over 100 movies now I've posted. There's a scene where there's a dead body and a bird comes out of the chest of the dead body and flies away. So you watch frickin' K-Pax, Bluebird of Happiness. You watch Paul, frickin' I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh yeah, he frickin' kills a bird. He finds a dead bird, the alien, on the side of the road. He brings it back to life just to eat it. And all the people around him freak out and go, what the hell, Paul? You can't just do that. And he goes, what? I'm not going to eat a dead bird, right? And so then next, and the algorithm, like part of the interestingness about this is that no person could plan this, all right? It's the algorithm. You can't accurately search shit on the frickin' YouTube, well, not YouTube, but the Facebook search bar. I can't search up the scene where Goku picks up a dead bird. He's fighting an alien. I had the action figure. It's that alien who has the xenomorph stretched out long head and the couple of spikes coming out of his back, and he's got the M on his forehead. I can't remember
Does
what
it look
part
like
of the...
one from Dead Space?
No, but so he's fighting that
Or
character.
alien.
He's fighting that character, and he shoots an energy blast and kills a bird. And Goku flips out, and he's like, "That innocent creature didn't do anything to you." Blah blah blah. The algorithm shows me that right after the movie Paul, and so I post that. And then what was the next one? Frickin' like there was like 4 references in a row like this, where now this is all insignificant and doesn't really mean anything. You know what I mean? It's just kind of like a cool reference running joke kind of thing that like boom, 4 movies in a row and in these shorts, and you realize like, yeah, you can't specifically search up this scene.
But the algorithm is finding it based on what you're already looking at.
Like here's another one I got like the algorithm does this kind of shit all the time. Like when the whole Hitler resurgence in popularity became a thing, freaking I would be scrolling through the random reels and it would show some, crazy conversation that, if you've ever heard some of the crazy rabbi conversations where they call everybody goyim and cattle and, oh, the Jews, we don't work and we'll do this and that. Like
I've heard of that kind of stuff, but
they're those,
don't pay attention to
I want to say like Pastor Langford maybe, or one of them. Like I've posted some of these interviews before. But so the algorithm, it would show me these frickin' shorts, and then the next short would be some frickin' quote from Hitler. I swear to God, it would be like some sort of kind of impartial reference to Judaism being bad, you know what I mean? Like a random factoid. And then the next short would be Hitler screaming his damn ass off. So it'll do shit like this. Look at this short. Let's see if this is the right one. No? Yeah, watch this. Like this is a perfect example. This is a perfect example. First reel is this kid telling you about his super soaker that shoots molten metal, right?
Okay.
And I just caught this as an example. I don't know why it's fucking muted. And I scroll down, and the next thing is a scene from the game Dishonored, which I just beat, and it's people
that's a good
being
game.
shot on fire by this weapon.
As if it were like the
so
continuation.
and so it does this kind of shit all the time.
That's funny.
So now I'm to the point where, like, I used to take screenshots because, like, every freaking time I would watch some ad on YouTube, it would be something green. Like, I typed in green in the search bar so many damn times that now it tries to sell me a green anything.
So I wonder if something in the AI's mechanic of how it's gonna show you whatever information it wants you to see.
Well, look.
I wonder if it found some similarity between the Molten gun thing and that Dishonored.
Well, there's two links there. Number one is the video itself, molten metal squirt gun. And number two is the fact that I recorded, I think, a couple of shorts, and of course I've got my phone going next to me while I beat Dishonored. So there's two links there. But this is like, this is standard.
But you mentioned stuff about Dishonored?
Well, yeah, I'm playing the fucking game while
Okay.
I'm fucking, I think I even posted about it, but...
So that's
But
just
so-
a weird coincidence.
Well, no, but that's the point of the whole targeted advertising thing, and the reference of why I took all those screenshots of various green advertisements. And there's like a video. I posted it over and over again because I see them all the time, where it's some kind of an ad for a green truck, and this was a joke that Truth Stream Media said. That's why I'm still making the reference. In one of their videos, they were like, yeah, me and my friends were having a conversation about a green pickup truck, and now all of a sudden, on our phones all the time, we're getting ads for green pickup trucks. So every time I see one, I take a little short of it, take a little video of it, and I post it, and I say something to the effect of, seeing the green truck of targeting advertisement is good luck for a week, But so like the context in here, like if we go down a little bit, because this was Friday's episode of the Alex Jones Show. I watched it Friday night. I didn't post it until Saturday, but he rants and raves using as a metaphor Dr. Strangelove, if you ever seen that movie.
No, I know about Metal Gear Solid.
What does that have to do with Dr. Strangelove?
Bruce
Oh,
Walker?
yeah, you're thinking of... Yeah, but that's different.
Okay.
I mean, that's probably a reference to this, so
Yeah.
you should watch it. You should watch it just for the obscure reference value to your Fallout context. I mean, your Metal Gear
Solid,
context.
yeah.
Yeah, you should watch it. No, this is great. You never seen that movie? You have to have heard the famous reference where the guy, the mad scientist, jumps out of his wheelchair and he goes, "Mein Führer, I can stand."
I don't know.
No? Well, damn, man. That's another one. Canadian Bacon, Dr. Strangelove. These are two fucking... But so, he rants and raves about Dr. Strangelove. I see if I can find the movie. Bada bing, bada boom.
What was the context of him doing that?
Oh, well, just that, like, the military-industrial complex, people at the high levels really are like Dr. Strangelove. Like, if you think about it, Operation Fishbowl and Starfish Prime, like, yeah, there may be a small chance that a nuclear weapon being detonated in the upper atmosphere could light the whole planet on fire, but let's do it anyway to find out in science. For the science, that, like, mad scientist kind of stuff. It just kind of fits the reference there of Demolition Man, because I used to do, like, I've sort of fallen off with the consistency of it, but I used to do a post like, here's something for the vegans, and it would be a video of somebody barbecuing, stay politically incorrect, America, and it would be somebody making a racist joke like that. Like, the best one, I think, just because the accent's so spot on, is that Asian guy being like, look, I'm an American. And he goes, I would like to use my credit card.
Oh, yeah.
Do you accept
I
Dude,
remember that.
Spot on, bro. Fucking generic white guy voice reporting the news.
Wake up, Buttercup. Relax, rookie. Don't be bugging. Besides, now's one of those times. Pays to be the strong, silent type.
Latest intel reports Covenant troops are massing the carrier.
Pulling back? Why?
Not gonna find out way up here.
Troopers! We are green! Hurry! Hurry me! I take it back. Navy got its butt kicked.
Hey, Romeo. Remember when I told you to shut your mouth?
Yeah.
ChatGPT. Out. Out. ChatGPT.
If you're not paying attention to this, if you're not actually looking into it, if you're just seeing headlines or like seeing what a couple people are posting on Instagram, you might get the idea that Trump had something to do with this, that something in these files is about Trump or convicts Trump in some way. It of course doesn't, but that's the way it's been framed. So then I'm trying to explain, okay, Trump was always the guy exposing Jeffrey Epstein. There are multiple examples of lawyers of the victims being interviewed and saying, I reached out to everybody, I publicly could deal.
So we got the whole 3 million gajillion Epstein files being released. Wonder what 3 million documents in a stack looks like.
I've been watching YouTube videos about it and just kind of listening to them, and you know, it's too much drama in this country, or whatever.
2016 being associated with John Podesta and Hillary Clinton. For the last 10 years, the Democrats have mocked the idea of elite pedophilia.
So I'll take, like, you know, the Alex Jones show, and I'll take a screen recording of a real important part so you get a little taste of what you're in for when you click on it, and then I'll take the link and put it in the comment section, so if it's just floating out there somewhere in the news feed and you happen to see it, then it's all in there. Like, I'll fucking take, this was the WW3 update. So
That's kind of a dark humor.
but so in the comments section, you got Canadian preppers' whole big giant amount of World War III news linked into it. So you know, you see the funny GIF or whatever, and then you fucking, oh, these are great. I usually manage to find some pretty funny clips. Like, yeah, you're talking about like post reach and engagement and shit. You know what I mean? Like, see, 96 or 69 on that one and 90 on this one. You know, it's going up. It's getting there.
Okay.
11 people shared it. 12 people shared that one. So I'll be like, it really is a battle of good and evil. That one was all about the Epstein files right when they got declassified and shit. So I put that link in there. Usually I find some speech of Alex Jones's to give. But so, like, you know, the thing is that this one, for instance, UFO updates from Skizzle. I've talked to this guy in the comment section before. If I were to post all these individually, that would be 8 fucking notifications hitting your phone, and that's just one segment. The WW3 updates that day was like 10 videos. The economy updates was like 10 videos.
So me as someone who doesn't usually look at it, summarize what you think the World War III.
So instead you get 3 notifications basically.
Yeah.
And then in the comments section, you got the fucking other 7
you should be able to
videos
set which
linked.
ones are being sent out as notifications or not.
I don't think it does that. But all right, let me scroll to the oh yeah. Here's a good one. Oh shit. Damn. I mean they're all funny, but
If you want to know what about human trafficking,
we'll summarize what's going on with the WW3 shit. We got, and so that every once in a while I'll throw in the link to the video game group of something particularly, you know, that blends in from that area. So we got a huge infestation of pedophilia going on in Roblox, and it's like institutionalized. Like they don't want to.
I've known about that for a while. It's a lot.
They've
of
gotten
people
worse.
doing
They're
that.
like literally arresting the guys that hunt the pedophiles down.
Yeah,
They're
so
like ban if you're exposing them, they ban you on the Roblox frickin' server.
I know that people would get banned for that. They call it vigilantism.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy. Fuck that. Lucky I didn't get your IP address and show up
stupid.
at your house.
There's a lot of people who are really good predator catchers, but I haven't seen them do Roblox overall. But I saw people like exposing that Roblox is trying to turn it into a dating platform. now.
That's part of that video too.
Yeah, I heard a lot about it like a couple months ago, I think. But they don't have respect for people who are trying to get rid of the pedophiles because something about how they want Roblox to look as a platform.
Yeah.
That's part of the excuse. But at the same time, it does seem really crookedly weird that the CEO or whatever guy said that he's trying to turn into a dating platform. I think at some point,
Like first of all, any online game with a chat is a dating platform, basically.
well, it could have. Honestly, if they just specifically for Roblox add an AI chat filter that can pick up on this kind of stuff.
I mean, this shit is for like people in a state of arrested development. You know, walk outside your house, dating platform, boom.
That sounds so mind controlled.
What do you mean? Walk outside your house, dating platform, boom.
No, like,
you go outside, there are women, ask them out. You don't need a freaking
Okay.
Roblox to
No,
fucking.
but I was looking at it from like the pedophile perspective of like the guy leaves his house and he's like officially.
Oh,
afraid,
yeah,
like,
yeah, that's
Like
crazy.
the whole world is his. predator
Yeah. Oh, I
territory.
mean, they are probably, you know. I mean, I don't know. I guess if you're one of those guys who's all digital and you know, you don't actually leave the house, that's one thing. I don't know. But nasty news altogether. Wherever the server room is for that, blow it up. Huh?
Captain, let's get pushed off the deck.
Stand by to just
Oh, it didn't start it over.
Wake up, Buttercup. Relax, rookie. You don't mean nothing. Besides, now's one of those times. Pays to be the strong, silent type.
So funny, dude. Like, I'm making a point to thank each one of the individual members that joins at this point as we get to the last, you know, few guys up to 1,000.
not gonna find out way up here.
What game is that?
Oh, that's Halo.
Orbital dropship.
We are green and very, very.
Is that like
mean.
ODST or?
Yeah, I assume so.
Saw the drop pod.
This cooked ass video. That's Epstein.
I was watching a video of him like getting interviewed yesterday.
Poking a
It
chick
says
with
sensitive content.
poking a chick with a stupid ass shit. Oh, what? It fucking censored the video all the way. Like, won't even let you play it anymore. Look. He's got some chick tied to the ground and he's burning her with a stick. Got a stick with the end of it on fire.
Okay. Okay.
And then you got this. Apparently, there's a whole like compilation documentary series of Trump pointing. He does this point when it's somebody who's on the Epstein list. He fucking like pokes him in the chest. So they call it the pedo point, and he's been like pointing out all these people the whole time, basically.
I don't know. That video is absolutely crazy. If that's actually real.
Yeah, no, that's real.
ChatGPT. Last week.
Okay, so the woman wasn't willingly getting burned.
Well, no, she's screaming at him to stop. It's Epstein. You think Epstein's, you know what I mean? And she looked young, too.
So basically, there's people affiliated with him that would kidnap this woman.
What do you mean, mate? The whole fucking bloody operation was a
Yeah,
Red Sparrow sex operative
human trafficking.
making operation.
Yeah, I did see one. I saw a video of like one woman who was speaking out. I didn't want to watch the whole thing.
Man, they had cloning facilities. He wanted to. He was chilling with Peter Nygaard, a freaking vampire, talking about we need that.
Was Peter Nygaard in the videos?
I've got videos of Peter Nygaard.
In the emails?
I got videos of Peter Nygaard talking like I don't even need that. I got videos of Peter Nygaard sitting there across from a table of black women going, "Oh yeah, your North African genes are so pure. It's why I want to buy your eggs so I can freaking eat them."
That's so stupid.
Well, that guy's mother freaking insane.
Breaking.
Just schlonk eggs. Look, we got the weather report.
I don't even know what he's saying.
He's saying the snow's not real. He's got one of those Elon Musk
Artificial
flamethrowers. Yeah, you've ever seen them videos? People, I made a video debunking it. It's stupid. Yeah, here's your World War III update. About a Volvo. Look how cramped that thing is on the inside. So what was on the plate for WW3 that day? We had Iran's nuclear rebuild just got exposed. They're trying to rebuild that nuclear site. Put that in the comments section.
Well, how would they?
All right, so World War III.
Wait, are you saying that Iran
Oh yeah.
has what they need to know how to rebuild it?
Listen. Where's your sword? I don't know. That tickles the Forza spot, doesn't it? Freaking
What, they just put
No.
They put a Dodge Viper engine in that?
The idea is, I guess so. The idea is that they are maybe the facility's not fully destroyed. They're trying to dig out the entrance.
Oh, because there was that overnight mission where they like blew it up.
Yeah. So we got
Yeah.
the let's. I've made this video before and established the whole framework here. All right. So you kind of have to go way back too. Like, and this is why Putin, every time he gives a speech, it's got a 45-minute long history dissertation in it. Oh man, it's wild. When like your brain starts going through all the factoids and the data points of it all, and you're like, holy shit. So like, you know, wow. Rothschild bankers, all these roundtable groups, Royal Institute on Foreign Affairs, Council on Foreign Relations.
Yeah.
No, that's two separate groups, Royal Institute on Foreign Affairs and Council on Foreign Relations. Trilateral Commission, Bilderberg Group, Club of Rome, but you know, Rothschilds and all the ilk, right? So, in order to establish the League of Nations, we get World War I. No, I think there was a
League of Nations was before the United Nations.
Yeah, no, but I'm pretty sure there was an even older one. Like they tried to do it after the Napoleonic Wars. Basically, like
Well, NATO was created.
That's different.
After World War II, right?
That's different. But the point is, like, I might be missing one of the iterations here. But basically, so the Rothschilds kill off one of the tenets being of the Illuminati to get rid of kings. Oh, no kings. Isn't that convenient? Meanwhile, we've been calling him the Emperor from the start. You see the memes, so it's like, what page are you on, bro? But
Who?
no, these no kings people. Like, they must have missed the parade where they had a float of Trump being the Emperor of Mankind from Warhammer 40k. Like, Warhammer 40k is the Emperor of Mankind. That's what the joke has been from the start. Not that he was a king. But, so they don't want any kings. Why? Because you can slowly, incrementally buy off the random officials and politicians of a government. But if a king decides that he doesn't want to mess with you, then you've got a problem. You can't really get rid of that guy. He's the king. So that was one of the parts, one of the goals of the Illuminati mission statement was to get rid of kings. Because I think it was Tsar Nicholas. One of the czars of Russia was pointing out that the League of Nations would have been a threat to everybody's sovereignty. So that kind of killed that. So you kill off the Russian royal family, you install this communism from New York, right? Frickin' then you have World War II, and you get the United Nations going, all right? Then we tell Russia, all right, NATO, the North American Treaty Organization, that we set up just to fight the USSR, and this is a funny tidbit that always throws the libtards for a loop when you show them that flag and you go, yeah, the United Soviet Socialist Republics, you moron, because they thought it was literally only
The United States.
No, the USSR. Do you know what that flag stands for? The United Soviet Socialist Republics, because they thought socialism was a transitionary point.
Republics?
On its way to communism.
It was plural?
I don't fucking know. It doesn't fucking matter.
Oh, I heard you say
Maybe they were
republics.
counting the Bob. Yeah, maybe whatever, dude. Don't sit here and fuck around. Okay? So, and I'll say it again just to annoy you. The republics, because they had all these Balkan satellite states, we'll call it that. Fuck
Okay.
it. But they believed that socialism was a transitionary system on its way to communism, and Hitler was like, nah, fuck that. Let's stick with the socialism shit or whatever. But so you have Russia has to throw off this boot that China never did of our communism. Office of Strategic Services after World War II goes in and installs Mao Zedong like they did Saddam Hussein to be a stabilizing
Well, that technically
element
means
for the
America.
region.
So if America installed Mao Zedong, then he You know, the Great Leap Forward.
Oh, yeah.
So America's pretty much guilty
Oh,
for
yeah.
the Great Leap Forward. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not surprising to me. It's all the same shit show.
All right, so now Russia gets rid of its communism. Okay, fall of the Soviet Union, Berlin Wall, all of that. For some reason, though, NATO still sticks around. Wonder why. And even though we told them we're not going to expand our borders any closer to you, we kept on doing it until we were down to one country, Ukraine, which is, of course, the origin of Russia, Slav the Great, starting that country.
But Ukraine broke out from Russia, right?
At some point during the Cold War, but the point is that they had their own democratically elected government, and George Soros literally says, and I go in with my tax-free organizations and my foundations, and we manipulate the voting system and the public, and we take control,
What I'm
and we
thinking-
penetrate the cabinets.
What I'm thinking is that at some point during the Cold War, America might have had control of Ukraine to get that leverage to...
Oh, well, we do have documented operations of the CIA going over there to train the Nazis that are over there, because during Soviet Russia in World War II, Ukraine was basically getting starved by them, so when the Nazis rolled through, they looked at the Nazis as liberators. They were like, oh God, you're going to free us from Stalin now? We at least get to keep the stuff that we farm out of the frickin' ground. So a lot of them turned into Nazis, basically. So that's why you've got this werewolf battalion, stay-behind network holdover, okay? The Azov battalion that claims its lineage to go all the way back to the original high command from Operation Barbarossa, where the Nazis pushed into Russia. And so it's literally, to them, it's literally like a case of, like, in 1945, Hans died and he passed command over to Fritz. And then Fritz died in 1960 and he passed command over to Hans, because they're all named Hans and Fritz, mind you. All Germans are Hans and Fritz. And so then Fritz died in 1980 and he passed command on to Hans. Yeah, and now we're in the modern era.
Wasn't Barbarossa like only a day?
Barbarossa? No, that was like a year.
Oh, really?
That was the 6th Wehrmacht's 6 million man march into Russia, stupidly during the winter. I think it was actually during the end of the winter, and they marched through all summer, and they didn't think it would take the next winter, so they were still there during winter. Anyway, the point is, that's why you got these Nazi stay-behind networks in Ukraine, like legit, bona fide, actual Nazis. So you get Hunter Biden, crack-smoking, Burisma oil deal, Joe Biden, Council on Foreign Relations. You better fire that prosecutor or I'll withhold the billions of dollars of aid money. Oh, well, looky here, the prosecutor got fired, right? And European Union wanting to expand, NATO being basically its military arm, squeeze up against the border. Hey, you said we wouldn't do that. And now we're at war with Russia. That's the full extent of the Russian thing, right? And now they're partnering with China just out of convenience. Pre all of this nonsense, last Trump administration, Russia was our ally. They did something like 4,000 airstrikes against ISIS targets to our only a few hundred. They basically destroyed ISIS for us. And we put them in the position of being buddy-buddy with fucking commie China, which is ridiculously, oxymoronically against the values of the people and the public there themselves, because they know what 80 years of the boot of communism feels like. So they're sitting over there looking at China like, we really gotta be buddy-buddy with you guys? China, the whole Taiwan thing, all right? This is where it gets really stupid. So you talk about the Great Leap Forward. The original government of China during that civil war with the communists got pushed out and moved to Taiwan. Fuck John Cena. Taiwan, never mind Taiwan as a country. Taiwan is the legitimate original government of China. And we've got these literal intelligence agency installed communists responsible for the deaths of almost 100 million people, with literal concentration camps and millions of Uyghur
So
Muslims.
what are you saying, that Taiwan is actually like proxying about China? or-
Taiwan is the legitimate original government of China, and you have a continued communist coup that has basically the globalist.
Are you saying that China wasn't the evil that it is today back then?
Well, yeah, before the communists, China was just China.
That makes sense.
Like you watch like Ip Man movies that are set in the 1920s before they were communists. It's just normal frickin'
Yeah.
day-to-day stuff. You know, normal life type stuff going on in China. It's very similar to like the Muslims taking over Iran. Pre-Muslims, normal day-to-day life stuff. After Muslims, craziness. All right, but so
Well, it's a global military-industrial complex. It's not only America as a military-industrial complex, because it's whatever it is that America
this
is
is the
run
deal.
not only by like patriots. Or
This
people.
this is the deal that the Chinese were given. Frickin', you'll maintain your communism, and you won't try to become a military superpower, and we'll give you all the trade deals. We'll make America listen to the great sucking sound as all the jobs go over there for the next couple of decades, and you be happy with that. But because the globalist CIA, somewhat Nazi leftovers and remnants, infrastructure of the intelligence agencies of the deep state of the New World Order, all right? You're talking about deals that were made in like the 50s and 60s. We're talking about like Henry Kissinger, Dick Cheney era shit, okay? So when like 30-year-olds from the Chinese government meet some 30-year-olds from the American government, we're like, oh crap, we made this deal, and China's like, yeah, we're not following that shit. So that's how we end up in the current era of China being like, well, we're going to take Taiwan and build all these fake islands all over the place. And our beat politicians being like, well, we're just going to let them do it. And really, all of that, the idea that the entirety of Europe can't supply Ukraine enough stuff, if you want to do that proxy army routine, and you really think that, and I'm not talking about realistically, reality, I'm talking about on a political level. You think that you need to stop Russia from invading, so you shovel all this military hardware into Ukraine, right? The entirety of Europe. Hello, Europe, are you aware you have a little something in you called Germany? What the hell is wrong with you? You need us to supply Ukraine with the shit to fend off Russia's old T-70s from like the 80s? Come on.
I'm kind of at the point though where I don't believe that nations are only governed by themselves.
Oh, yeah.
And
yeah.
so when I look at it, and in the Bible it talks about the beast that's seven-headed and has 10 horns. So 7 heads being 7 nations and 10 horns being the proxies or the methods of its beast.
I've never heard that one before, but that's a good one.
Well, 7 nations that are under the control of the beast.
Well, that's why I always allude to this being a play fight anyway.
Yeah.
You know, TRB3 or TBR3 or whatever the fuck it is.
TR3B.
Whatever. TR3B. All right? Like, just that alone, you know? That level of technology. And that's old stuff. That's like 50-year-old stuff at this point. Here's some more of this mixture.
Well, there's a military-industrial complex and people who control the global resources and who embezzle from national resources.
My thing is, basically, all of the military hardware, all the military hardware we shipped to Ukraine should have been sent to Taiwan.
You know about Palantir?
Yeah, that's whatever.
Yeah, I don't know much about it.
That is the small player in the intelligence and AI tech industry trying to fill its niche, basically. you know, and they're just harped on a lot by the mainstream media.
Aren't they like a
because
defense contractor that's predatory?
They're
and
like a
uses
little
AI
Lockheed
data points?
Martin. They're like a little Raytheon, from what I understand. But so now let's go. When you want to break down the World War III thing, all right? In this, it's all a big show and a plan, seven-headed dragon dealio. All right. Now this is the interesting part. You're aware of that letter that got sent to the British from, I think it was Adam Weishaupt or Albert Pike, either one of those two former leaders of the Illuminati in Bavaria, before World War I, and they said, our plan is to have a world war to establish the framework for a global government, and then have a second world war to tighten that grip, and then have a third world war to fully solidify it into a new world order. And they named the countries in the letters that would be part of the wars, and the whole, Project for a New American Century bill, the plan to topple 7 or 8 countries in 10 years or whatever it was. You've heard this before. And Iran is on that list, all right? So now, but here's the problem. Here's why it sucks so bad, because of the way that they have this set up. All right? So Persia, screw Iran. Constantinople, screw Istanbul. All right? Former Christian, former Zoroastrian, former non-Muslim nations where women could walk down the street without wearing a beekeeper outfit. So you have Iran set up here as the trap in World War III. Like, even me, knowing that this is a trap, I look at Iran taken over by the Muslims. I know some Iranian people who identify as Persian, because that shit, right? And you see what I'm saying? So you want to
So you're saying that the Iranian government oppresses Persians?
You've never seen this whole dichotomy, this whole dynamic, this whole thing that's pretty popular on the internet, where they show footage of pre-Muslim takeover Iran, where it's women wearing normal dresses, going to their scientist or teacher's job, people swimming on the beach, that kind of thing.
It makes sense though, because they've done that in other
They were
countries in the Middle
Iran.
East.
Yeah, well, Iran. Okay, I think it was like mid 1970s, pre-80s, pre-Muslim takeover Iran was basically us. Cheeseburgers, beer, muscle cars, women in bikinis, rock and roll music, that kind of deal.
Yeah, you know that a lot of the whole Muslim idea, it's actually just they're militant extremists, and it's just a front.
Whatever. The point is that you see how that's very enticing in a world where we're now waking up to Islam. Seeing that, I was warning about this more than 10 years ago. More than 10 years ago, I was dressing up in a little Crusader knight costume. The kind of crap people are doing today in mass in the streets in the UK with the St. George's Cross, or whichever saint that is, right? I had the whole Templar Knight.
I don't know about that. But...
The Red Cross. I had the whole Templar Knight get up and the sword and everything, and was warning about Islam coming to Europe a decade ago. Now it's so bad, the United Arab Emirates and other Arab countries are like, yeah, you might want to not take these people in. Trust me, we know.
Well, what I'd have to say about Iran is that I've already watched since 9/11 the invasion of Afghanistan and Iraq with excuses about it. What?
Oh, how I be taking my methylene blue in the morning? You miss it. It's like right at the beginning. This is, I think, Resident Evil, a clip from Resident Evil. See, he got the little bottle of blue shit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's Resident Evil or not, but I'll have to look in the comments.
Oh, that's Ramstein.
Yeah. Which one is this? But so this guy is some kind of. It's not the virus that's in Resident Evil, whatever he's injecting himself with. And if it is the virus, I think the virus is a blue liquid in Resident Evil. But so we got.
Which one?
Oh, I don't know. All of them.
I
Actually.
played 4 and 5, and
That might be something different, actually. I think it looks like a DNA strand in a bottle. But so we got this guy. Doom Marine's health bottle technically is a bottle of blue stuff, but that's really reaching. We got all the characters from The Boys. We got Max Payne with Valkyrie. The Valkyrie drug is a blue liquid. We got Shepard from Mass
there's a
Effect.
Breaking Benjamin music video that has a blue liquid.
Master Chief. We got like 7 characters. I got like 7 characters now from different franchises that are all, made super duper with the blue liquid.
I mean, honestly, it sounds very, like, I don't know, it sounds like something that would be in a video game or something.
Well, it sounds to
just
me
on its own.
Just because the fact that it's a blue liquid all the time. All right, and I did some research and found the supposed yellow liquid. There's a whole conspiracy theory around.
That would be chlorine dioxide.
No, sperm whale oil. There's like a kind of sperm whale oil that's yellow, and it's been known throughout history to have anti-aging properties to it, and they call it the gold drink in elite circles and shit. And it's actually shown in Avatar: The Way of Water. They're harvesting the oil from the sperm whale, and they say this stuff right here is worth $80 million. It reverses human aging, literally stops it. And because I when I made the Master Chief, Shepard, Captain America, Methylene Blue video, watching the old videos making of a Spartan, they inject Master Chief with a blue liquid and a gold liquid. I was like, what is that gold liquid? Maybe there's some kind of. I think what this is a case of is that, this is a popular supplement in elite circles. People who run companies and make these shows and video games have it in their head, like blue stuff makes you strong. You know what I mean? Like, they might not even be doing it on purpose, they just know about it. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like in Ghost Recon that I was playing, they're talking about the United States going to war in South America and seizing the Panama Canal. It's the same exact lore that's in Cyberpunk. United States going to war in South America and seizing the Panama Canal. Now, similar to the methylene blue thing, is it that these are elite Illuminati type people who are predictive programming us to react a certain way when the United States goes to war in South America and takes the Panama Canal? Or is it that these are such strategically obvious moves to a more well-resourced wartime community of like generals and shit? Like the Pentagon, right, obviously has its eye on the Panama Canal as an interest. You see what I'm saying? Like, is it more that these are just fundamental interests to our country and that's how they get sucked into the plots of
Canal's
games?
Near Mexico?
No, it's South America getting invaded. All right, Ghost Recon, Call of Duty Ghosts, Cyberpunk, Panama Canal getting seized. I'm not sure if Ghost Recon includes that. But what I'm saying is that these are strategically obvious points, so they get pulled into a video game. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not like what would be the reason to hint at methylene blue existing in all these things other than...
What's your full opinion of methylene blue in terms of, like, do you think it's worthy of that?
Of what?
Of being, like, regarded as, oh, they're referencing this, like, because it's actually that good?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the idea that this was made in 1875 or whatever by the Germans, right? And it's maintained this kind of undergroundness as to where everybody just doesn't automatically know about it like common knowledge. Like, I'm not saying there's some crazy conspiracy theory to it. I'm saying that You know, you go to a party of elites, not the super elite, baby eating elite. I mean, just, you know, you go to a little, you know, shoulder rubbing event with like Epic Games Studio and Ubisoft or whatever. Like, you know, we're talking about rich people, right? In relatively elite circles. Maybe they know about the shit. Like Mel Gibson. So if Mel Gibson made a movie and at some point the guy takes some blue liquid in the movie and that gives the superpowers or whatever, it's not that Mel Gibson has some malicious, you know, programming you plan going with it. It's just that it's a thought in his head because he takes this stuff. Oh yeah, blue stuff. You see what I'm saying? Like it's a coincidence, but it's not a coincidence. Like it's not a coincidence, but it could be taken lightheartedly like it was. Like it's not that the Panama Canal being mentioned is supposed to mean anything or do anything. It's just that it's an obvious. But it's an obvious, you know what I mean? It's not like there was a solidified plan. You could see it.
Alright, I'm gonna fill up my cup again.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette.
What is that?
The reason why Iran is a trap is because of the spring-loaded crap that's set up with it. You know, you attack Iran. It's not the people. The Iranian government is going to bring in China. Is going to bring in Russia. You're going to have Israel pissing off every other Muslim nation in there, and it's going to turn into a whole thing and drag everybody into the Middle East.
It just feels literally impossible for me to believe in narratives of what this world is becoming, of wars, and what people are saying about political narratives of like countries and what their motivations are for attacking whatever. I just see what it is, that the Middle East in Iraq and Afghanistan was such an excuse what they did when they went to war. And yeah, hold on. But, so, Middle East was imperialized, and 9/11, when the Pentagon got hit, financial records department or whatever, they destroyed some of those computers and the records. And the day before that, I think it was Rumsfeld, who said that they couldn't account for like
$2 trillion.
2.1 or 2.3 trillion.
Yeah.
So I look at that. I look at the creation of Department of Homeland Security, and
Well,
how.
have you ever seen the Relatively Hard, but I've seen it plenty of times. I know plenty of people have seen it. Confiscated by the FBI and CIA, usually, but still made it onto YouTube. Gas station footage of the missile that hit the Pentagon, because it wasn't a plane, it was a missile. And it's very clearly a missile on the gas station security footage of it. And they didn't remove the 300 feet of topsoil that they were supposed to remove from the grounds of the Pentagon if there had been a fuel spill of any kind of a jetliner. There was never any 2-ton Rolls-Royce engines found, no holes in the walls from the Rolls-Royce engines. In
So
fact,
what you're saying is that it was missiles that hit the Pentagon instead?
it was one of our own missiles that hit the Pentagon. It was not a plane. Homeboy who
And
had
either
never,
way, it would
homeboy
be
who
that
had
people
never,
don't even know.
Well, homeboy who had never flown anything but a Cessna and wasn't good at flying a fucking Cessna did not corkscrew a 747 down just to land it
Well,
perfectly
if a
in a
missile hit a
budget.
gas station, though, why wouldn't that be on the news?
No, the Pentagon has the most security cameras of any building on planet Earth pointed at it, including gas station cameras. And so one of the gas station cameras, all the security footage from all the gas stations and ATMs and convenience stores around the Pentagon were confiscated, except for this little snippet. It's like a 30-second gas station security camera footage of the fucking missile coming in and hitting the Pentagon. And that's why the original hole in the side of the Pentagon is only 4 feet wide and has undestroyed computers and unburnt books sitting on unmelted desks, fucking viewable in the pictures.
I'll look into that. I don't know for sure, like, all that. But what I do know is that they went into Iraq and Afghanistan saying that there were WMDs, right? And they didn't find any. And they even were, the soldiers themselves knew that they weren't there for WMDs.
Oh, yeah.
So, obviously they have a public narrative and they have a private narrative. And I usually, like, expect that about whatever the government does, as far as wars are. But the fact is that they got oil out of Iraq, right? There's not a lot of oil in Afghanistan, but they were smuggling like opium and cocaine from the Middle East.
Well, we were protecting the opium, we were
They were
protecting the
guarding
poppy
the fields.
fields. Because, now this is what's funny, the reason why the opium production and shipments out of the Middle East jacked up so high after we invaded, because the previous Al-Qaeda and Taliban controllers of the area, well, it's against Islam to grow opium, so they fucking would burn those fields all the time. We were protecting them from the Taliban.
Whatever it is, I know that people who have credentials, they make money off of it as a business. Whatever they can make a business out of, and that's
Whoa,
the
did
thing.
you hear that one? That was fucking global warming, right?
I don't trust I don't trust the government at all. The way I look at it is that, and this is the actual witness, right? A soldier has an obligation to learn about the worst corruption of the country that they serve, right? In this case, America. So, for the sake of loving the human race and loving creation, when there is all sorts of human experimentation in the history of the American government,
I wouldn't say a soldier necessarily has that kind of a duty,
I
but
do.
you have to be.
I say that.
You know, I mean, look how much time I've had to put into. You know, I've put more time into building this group than 10 soldiers do in fucking basic training. You know, 3 years to get 900 motherfucking members on this bitch. All right, like. And all the shit that I've learned while I'm doing it, the fucking 10 years of research that I did beforehand to give me the big enough cojones to think that I could have a fucking group started centered around the shit that I know. Fucking, like, I don't think that's your obligation. I think you should be constitutionally literate enough to be able to spot unconstitutional orders when they come in. How many of your vets have read the Constitution enough times
Yeah,
to
but
be able
someone
to
who's
fucking...
been victimized and who sees that there's people who were victimized and that the pharmaceutical regime basically has 67% of Americans on prescriptions.
I'm just saying, like, you don't need to be a historical scholar to be able, with a basic understanding of the Bill of Rights and Constitution, you don't need to be a historical scholar to spot an unconstitutional order coming in.
Sure, but they are proxying the levels of government. It's to where even the police can't charge federal government.
I'm just
for
saying,
crimes.
for like your basic troops, your rank and file army guys, you know, I mean, yeah, that would be great if they were all aware of shit as us. But, you know,
Plenty of them are aware of
Yeah,
extreme
yeah.
amounts of corruption,
yeah.
and they're not doing anything to protect the country. or the government's basic functions of
You got
what
a
the
lot
government
you got a
should
lot
be.
of
It's gone way
whistleblowers.
way further.
You got a lot of
there's not
whistleblowers.
enough.
Remember the fucking guy? You remember the fucking guy who took one picture of him sitting on the bunk of his submarine to show his daughter when he got back after retirement, and Hillary put him in jail for years, saying he was violating national security? I mean, who the fuck would want to fucking blow the whistle on some real shit? You
How
can't
many
even
times do you
that.
think they make an excuse
Go
about
on.
what that is? Like any situation that they're doing something corrupt. Lots
Oh,
of
well,
times.
yeah, of course. I'm just saying, you know, why would you want to?
It's become the standard of their excuses.
Yeah, you can scroll through the group if you want and comment on whatever. I'm gonna go use the bathroom.
Okay.
System to worms and parasites and look at the 1800s. We go through the 1800s. What did the doctors do then? They dewormed you. As the further I got back in history through the 1800s, I started finding books that were published by
I wonder if that's about ivermectin, the horse dewormer thing. But that makes sense that cancer could be a parasite.
doctors through the 1800s, books that they read and books that they learned from. And lo and behold, out of every single book,
Tell me the freaking bathroom is out of order. I just used it like.
Yeah, well, they locked the bathroom stall. The urinal is open.
I'm gonna take a shit.
parasite programs all through America, all through Canada.
So yeah, so just like checking out the thing that says cancer is a parasite, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. But if you think about.
But hold on, they were saying that they dewormed people. So is
Yeah.
this about ivermectin?
Well, that's the original ivermectin, because those stories are from the early 1900s.
And then they changed what it is?
Well, no, I mean, just ivermectin was just it's the same thing, it's just a different brand. Years and years later, it still happens to work the same way as it did back in the day. Like, this is just saying, yeah, we've known that a portion of cancer is treatable this way. I mean, assuming outside of having some kind of carcinogenic chemical that you're exposed to all the time, causing damage, and then your cells have to try to heal from that damage over and over again, eventually scarifying, and that's cancer, right? Like, what else could you have other than a parasite in you causing damage all of the time to have the same result?
Well, people's cells can mutate when they have a deficiency of something.
Yeah, but this is all, see, this all goes down the repairing your car analogy that I use, which is that your body is a car, and if you sit in your garage with crappy metal making substandard parts to replace in your car, eventually your car is going to be all crappy metal having substandard parts, and the whole thing will break at once. This is the body, you know. Your all your different muscles and organs take different vitamins and minerals, and they're trying to build the Lego set without all the Legos.
Well, what I know about vaccines, I'll just say that.
God, this was funny. I was talking to this guy in his live chat, and I was like crapping on people in his live chat who were crapping on him, and then he frickin' sees my name and goes, Green Hill Radio, oh, what is that? He was drunk. He was like, oh, that's all about climate change and windmills and stupid shit, get out of here. And then he blocked me, and I was like, wow, bro, what the hell? Yeah, like I'll occasionally get in a live stream chat like this guy. This was funny. He shut his stream down in the middle of it because I was crapping on him so hard. All you need is me, and if you're one of these libtards who's half asleep at the wheel, and you know, all you need is me to pop up in your chat. I'll ruin your whole stream. You can't debate me.
Warning message.
Yeah. And then, like, recently I've been just kind of like, calling the balls and strikes of Green Hill Radio, like different things that I've called, like when the Israel versus Palestine thing first happened, one of the first things I said, impartially, just militarily speaking, tactically speaking, they should go flood Gaza. Get a bunch of water trucks, pump water into Gaza until the tunnels fill up, and worst case, you got like a couple of inches on the surface. Nobody's going to get hurt. It's going to take long enough as to where everybody is going to be able to get out of the tunnels in time without fucking drowning, right? And then literally a few months later, they tried it. They tried flooding Gaza, and it didn't work too well, so they switched to trying to fill the tunnels up with foam, but they literally executed my plan. They brought in water trucks and tried to flood Gaza. Frickin' another one that I said early on, I called the whole gamification of warfare with drones and whatever, basically laid out the whole incentive structure that Ukraine is now using for their drone troops. Like I basically said, yeah, make it like a video game. Get the gamers to pilot drones. You've got the largest pool of skilled drone potential pilots in the United States right here. So now literally in Ukraine, they're like, oh, you got a kill with your drone? That's 10 points. You get 2 more kills and your squad's going to get an upgraded weapon. I swear to frickin' God. That's the level they're on now in Ukraine, is actually gamifying the drone warfare. Another one I called out.
I'm sure they're doing AI usages of drones all over the place then.
No, we don't have AI in charge of the kill order yet. We still got people, thankfully.
Maybe not the kill order, but in terms of deploying drones and using them?
No,
No?
just individual pilots. But, that was what I was saying when I was making my point with all those posts about drone warfare, was that you've got these people in the Pentagon who want drone warfare to be automated, and it's like, no. First of all, hacking is a thing. I don't trust that kind of stuff, right? And the Terminator scenario, obviously. Okay.
I wouldn't doubt that they could do it secretly and just not talk about it.
If we went toe-to-toe warfare level, this was my goofy plan, and I think it could be done. If we were toe-to-toe warfare level with China, back to the wall, right? Full-scale war. I think it would be relatively easy to encrypt and harden all the PlayStation Live, all the Xbox Live, and then, the government comes out with a game, and you've got to pass some tests and stuff in order to get access to the server. And you've got a real military guy, a commanding officer in your headset, who's looking at his screen, and he has the ability to turn off your drone and switch its controls to an actual Air Force pilot. But so you log on, and now you are piloting a drone somewhere. Yeah.
In a war zone.
Yeah, in a war zone, or maybe the country is getting attacked by frickin' Chinese drones or whatever. But yeah, you could have a vetting system, you could have a vetting process, you could have commanders in charge of a certain number of guys with the ability to throw the kill switch, and you could have the largest, most skilled pool of potential drone pilots on the planet at your disposal, the American gaming population. But anyways, my another one was all the news reports about how we're shooting down these couple $100 drones with a $6 million missile. I'm sure you heard plenty of those reports.
I try not to focus on it because of how much I already was feeling jaded about, like, the past 25 years of looking at what it is that they went to the Middle East, and then come to find out that there's $7 billion of equipment left in Afghanistan, and that defense contractors.
I think I remember it being like $70 billion worth of equipment.
No, it's $7 billion. But 7 billion, it's obviously understated. So what they said is 7 billion. Whatever the report of that amount of money is, it's obviously like it could be 10 billion. But they said it was 7 billion.
Huh.
So there was some kind of like elusive suggestion that they had about it's an agreement of how they're pulling out of Afghanistan. That like maybe there was a demand made, but I don't really believe that because there was Iran-Contra, right, like decades ago. And then whatever it is that some usage of America funding extremist groups, militant extremists with weapons and whatever.
I think part
It
of
existed, it happened.
I think part of it was just Biden knowing that he was going to have to send all of these resources to Ukraine to cover his ass. You know, and then the inconvenient military truth of, well, we can either you know, like all this military equipment that we left there was shipped over there over the course of years. So if you think about like the convenience of it, it's like, you know, oh, we got a regular supply ship that's coming in, it's got a dozen tanks on it so far, you know what I mean, that kind of thing, right? And so they're going, well, logistically, we're going to have to spend this much money to pack all of these things up in a big shipment, as opposed to the trickle that they came in from to pile up to $7 billion worth of stuff. You see, but it's still not a fun pill to swallow. It doesn't matter how you look at it, it's still BS, you know? At the very least, Israel's so hard up for our military supplies. They got the largest fleet of F-15s on planet Earth. Germany is only second to them. They've got like 350 of our F-15s.
Whatever that is, it's some kind of business for someone. And I don't believe in national loyalties about wars. And so the way I look at it, I'm not being unfair in how I assess what I believe about it, but I just look at it and I think, you know what? America is already so poisoned of what it is, and people are so distracted by whatever political narratives. So if you look at the past year, it's been like Epstein files and Diddy and ICE.
Yeah.
And people talking about Taiwan, and then it was Venezuela.
Yeah.
And so I've seen these rehashes of these political narratives. And so, you know, there's obviously something else going on about this where it's too much distraction.
I heard you guys over talking Iran.
No, what's up?
Iran-Contra.
Oh, not really Iran-Contra, but just, you know, the war in general and stuff.
Well, another 500 happened back in like 83, 84.
We already went over the whole Muslim takeover of Iran and how it used to be basically like the United States, yeah.
And American Dad actually did a song about one of the key players.
Oh, American Dad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ollie North.
Oh, yeah? You know what's funny, too? That, you know, I literally ended up listening to My Morning Jacket just because that frickin' American Dad episode where he goes to the concert with his daughter and he's like, what is this crap? And then the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, oh my God, greatest song.
Yeah.
It was good.
Well, they did something with Ollie North about the Iran-Contra whole affair.
Yeah.
But he was the scapegoat.
Yeah.
Because he was the chief of staff.
Iran-Contra was smuggling in cocaine to be sold by the CIA to provide for their black budget in the fucking caskets of Vietnam troops.
Yep.
I think Tom Cruise's movie, American Made, Born on the 4th of July, actually. does that. goes through that whole
Born on the 4th of July.
So the thing is, like I said, they have these rehashes of political narratives.
Oh wait! Before you go there, let me get out this real quick thing. So, fucking the other thing I called, like, basically day one, all the first time we had drone versus missile, and oh my God, we're paying $20 million for this missile to shoot down a $500 drone or whatever. I was like, where are the General Electric proximity fuses from World War II? You just get a 20 millimeter technical on whatever vehicle. You got your proximity fuses from World War II. It's got a Christmas bulb from General Electric in it that fucking pops when it gets close enough to something. And that's how, because it's got like a magnet in it or whatever. We had those back in World War II. They brought them back.
Yep.
We were doing like, this is my little news group here. We're recording a little fucking little
Yeah.
recap of all the stuff going on. That's why the conversation seems so weird, because we're recording it.
No, not really. I mean, I just figured I'd throw my 2 cents in.
Freaking yeah.
So, like I said, they're rehashing all sorts of things about 3 things. So, Diddy and the Epstein files and ICE. Okay.
Now, see, Diddy had too much baby oil. That's why he's sitting in the same prison with Maduro.
Yep.
It's too much oil. The United States coming for you.
Well, they put too much focus, or like they're directing traffic of people's focus onto these political narratives that they're rehashing again and again. What happened with ICE in 2017, 2018, when Trump was saying build the wall or whatever, they politicized border security and the National Guard stood down. Now, the argument for why they wouldn't put the National Guard at the border is that National Guard doesn't have the legal authority to enforce the law. Yet, ICE would, and whatever other law enforcement works with ICE, National Guard didn't have to enforce the law, they just had to guard the border. And they could have set up immigration booths.
Yeah.
And so this is planned incompetence that spans back even before 2017-18.
This is how this works. And it became super obvious with Biden. Everybody want to go, oh, why are you complaining about Trump? Obama deported more people than Trump. Well, Obama let more people in than Trump. Oh, Trump's border security rating, there's like almost 0 people coming across the border. Obama let in 10
Not in his
times.
first term.
We're talking now, though. We're talking now that we've got the full deportation swing coming to wait. Just listen. Obama let more people in than he deported. All right? You can scream about his deportation numbers all you want. He let in way more people than he deported. All right?
I remember that.
It became super obvious with Joe Biden, because Joe Biden sat there repeating Klaus Schwab's Build Back Better tagline from the World Economic Forum. So that's what you have. You either have a president that is going off the mandate of the American people and what we want, or we have a president that is a stooge of the World Economic Forum and the United Nations. So now, Joe Biden, of course, isn't going to say out loud, I'm a stooge of the United Nations, so I'm going to abide by the United Nations replacement migration open border policy on the .gov website. I'm going to do that. He's not going to say that. And now Trump, to avoid assassination attempts and the larger general craziness that would go down over it, can't obviously say out loud, Joe Biden was the United Nations puppet, and now we're resisting. This is the American resistance against the United Nations open border replacement migration policy, right? He can't say that out loud. So he just kind of we have to quietly pull out and close our borders, or it becomes a hot war. It's the difference between two people arguing.
But it's not just about 2 presidents. It's that the federal agencies failed the country systematically and
Yeah, I
intentionally,
think he
and that
should
it would
do
be
it.
cleanup later on.
I
And
think
it doesn't
he should-
work.
I think he
It's damage
should.
control that's failed.
What we have is on our ground level, grassroots level, for people that we physically talk to, we got Alex Jones. Alex Jones talks to Roger Stone. Roger Stone Trump talks to Roger Stone. Roger Stone addressing the stupid frickin', like Alex was saying before the files got released, we're probably not going to get the files because Roger Stone told me before Trump got elected that it was a Mossad and CIA intelligence honeypot operation, and that's why we can't do it, because it would fuck the whole economy up and all that kind of shit, right? You know, so basically what I feel like is happening is Trump is busy with all the stuff that he's doing, and so he's letting Roger Stone go on InfoWars and speak for him, because it would be so much controversy like it was the first time around if he went back on InfoWars and did another interview. That's what I think Trump needs to do, is go back on InfoWars, do another interview with Alex Jones, remind everybody of the hardened conspiracy theorist truth movement core of the MAGA movement. You got elected because guys like us want blue helmets on a pike. You got elected because guys like us kept the Epstein memes alive for long enough that they became the main issue. You guys like us talked about globalism and 9/11, and you came out and talked about globalism, and there was a political bloc big enough to vote for you as a candidate.
Whatever they say that, so like, even if Trump went on Alex Jones, to me it doesn't change the fact that what's already happened has happened. And the fact of it is that ICE had, I think, a $90 billion budget approved. And so I look at that and I said, okay, that's 425,000 houses valued at $200,000 each. That's the budget of ICE. And where that equates with the failure of the National Guard not being put at the border, they already were letting people in from other countries. The entry point was like Arizona or whatever. So when I look at this, I'm saying, okay, I already actually know that there are very corrupt people who have credentials in the government. And I've met some of those people who are extremely corrupt.
Oh yeah, I had Alexander Vidman. That's so crazy, bro, that none of us realized it. Out of the fucking like 800 people, he was there for like a year almost. Colonel Alexander Vidman from the goddamn Pentagon in my news group, posting propaganda nonsense about Hillary and Joe Biden, and I would crap on him every day, mercilessly. And you know what's funny? Like, he left the group right before June 14th. He left the group. The last thing he posted was out of pocket. It was random, out of left field for him. He posted a documentary about 9/11. I gave him a little fist bump back. I was like, holy crap, Vidman's coming around. And I posted another documentary about 9/11. And then the next day, he left the group. The next day, you had the June 14th uprising. And then months later, his family name is in the news with
So you're saying
Alex
that
Jones.
he knew about the June 14th uprising?
Yeah, I think he knew.
What
that.
is that?
That was the No Kings anti-ICE big protest. I mean, you know, these goofballs have an uprising every other day. So who can say for sure? I don't remember exactly what,
well,
but it was the
you know, they had
anti-ICE.
false flags of like whatever Antifa, I think. Like there was something on Alex Jones, like they dropped off bricks for
they were
protests or
throwing
whatever.
cinder blocks off of an overpass on the ICE's heads. But I'm just saying, like, you know, those sleeper cells of government assets are out there creeping around, just watching. That I got frickin', and this guy's up at a podium giving speeches. I didn't realize who he was until Alex Jones did that report on him. And then I go over his profile and see him giving speeches up at a podium and shit, and I realize, oh wow, Lieutenant Colonel Alexander Vidman from the frickin' Pentagon. Not just some random schmuck Alexander Vidman who happens to be a libtard. No, Colonel Alexander Vidman.
Okay.
Frickin' intelligence warfare operative over here.
I used to have someone who I thought was my friend who was a general in the U.S.
General
Army Rangers.
Stubblebind.
And what the military can do is they can find a 14-year-old kid online who had an interest in joining the military and feed him disinformation about a fake zombie virus and then surveil him and poison him and experiment.
The zombie virus,
Yeah.
the golden horde.
Well, I know the names of people involved in that against me specifically.
Those drills that the
It's not
UN
exactly the point.
and the National Guard do for a zombie virus is a golden horde drill. What that means is that any kind of disaster scenario that cuts the supply lines to the grocery stores will have the local populace raid the grocery stores, and they will be empty within a business week. Within 3 to 4 days, you're starving and not thinking logically, and you're ready to tear the arms off of a guy for a bite to eat. And so you end up with these big crowds of people, like in Greece and Argentina, other countries that ate all the damn zoo animals, you know, and they go like an army ants and just rip the flesh off of something. So you end up with the golden horde, and that's what those, because your IQ drops when you've gone so many days without food. You just you got a big horde of people stumbling along. So they just got to get your National Guard used to the idea of shooting on a big mass of unarmed, drooling people.
No.
That's
Look.
what the zombie. There's no virus.
Seriously, though?
Seriously, there's no virus. There never was. The zombie drills were always about crowd control.
But what I'm saying is they can use disinformation against people and target people. But the other thing, so 90 or $85 billion for ICE is at the point of they had a planned, coordinated failure about the border security. And that allowed people to infiltrate the government. It allowed people to embezzle money from the government. And so that's basically what it is. Even in Minnesota, where they had embezzlements of billions of dollars, there are people who have credentials who can actually falsify what was stolen and what wasn't. And they line their own pockets. But that's what it is. And so corruption is a business in this country.
Well, all right. We might as well touch on the basic operating system of what the point of all of this is, since we've included every other, random factoid having to do with this topic. And, it's wild because you see it happening in Europe a lot more to a heavier degree. Installation of Sharia law, different cities having Muslim mayors now across the UK and things like that. Frickin' people walking down the street trying to walk their dog, and the Muslim guy is like, "Oh, you can't have a dog," trying to. It's funny. I guess it's because they're like a dirty animal or whatever. They're afraid of getting licked by one. They consider it a dirty animal. It's like, hello, bro. You live in the desert. You wipe your ass with your hand. Get the fuck over
I'm
it.
pretty sure that all of these countries that have these militant extremist groups are being mind controlled.
Oh, well, yeah, because Islam is a cult, political, military operating system.
No, I mean like PSYOP with
well, that's
graphene
nudges,
oxide.
though. That's nudges, though. British intelligence, Rothschilds, even the Nazis at one point, they look at Islam as like a Dodge Viper. You don't drive a Dodge Viper, you poke it, piss it off, and then point it in a direction. So that's what they do. So the elite population of Europe looks down and they see their local population of English speakers or native-born, native language-speaking people waking up to the political games. You have the whole Great Awakening going on, the pedophilia, this, that, and the third thing, right? And so the easiest way to destroy and disrupt the naturally occurring Great Awakening within any country is to replace its population with random people from the third world who never went through a proper education system. They don't know the politics of the local government. They're just there to be subjugated, and they don't speak, they don't speak the language. So like, we're at this current political state we are at right now, where the awakened people across the internet of the United States and in groups in person are getting together. We're all putting the pieces of the puzzle together. I feel like we're pretty close in general understanding of the public to the bottom of the rabbit hole.
The government's got a bigger, better puzzle than people
Well,
know about.
but you get rid of all those, you cause all this chaos. It was said very poignantly like this once: the greatest danger to the elite of a country are its own population that speak the language they use. So,
if they're poisoned and dumbed down and controlled, then they're not, as long as they don't break that cycle of whatever indoctrination and hypnotic suggestion, then they're basically just gonna be what they are, as not at the point of relinquishing their own free will. So they're, even people who think that they're waking up, there is a gridlock for them.
Wow. My point is, or a secondary point that comes in after and stacks on top of this, is that it's a trap for them too. The strongest people in a country usually are the ones who have the ability to immigrate to another country. So instead of staying in your country and making it a better place, unless you're helped along with the United Nations and all kinds of NGOs and benefit cards and everything like that, and you come over and you're a bag of shit fucking, like a lot of people are. But generally speaking, normally, right? But so this is a trap for them too, because this helps to culminate this World War III state. We can subjugate people and call them racists at the same time. We foment this racial division and hatred by forcing this extra population in here in order to create another crusade artificially.
But look at this, because people work a job to make money, okay? So traditionally, people will work a job to make money. Where they get this worldly authority, it's gonna be given to them.
Oh, no. The Europeans believe that Jesus sat on some frickin' rock in Scotland. He sat on a rock in Scotland that's under one of the king's thrones. And if you touch the rock and you're vaguely related to whoever the hell, then you got the divine right of God to rule. This is literally how the claim that,
I don't think that was in the Bible.
Yeah, no, that's well, but that's
Never
literally
read that scripture.
That's literally how the European claim to divine right to rule works.
Is that something connected to the Vatican?
It literally is the whole Mary Magdalene bloodline of Jesus stuff. And they really think that it's funny because most of them are Transylvanian royalty from Saxe-Coburg-Gotha.
Yeah, well, there's all sorts of like mythological freaking telltale things that are like, oh, look at this statue from this time, and this is important because this
look it up.
connects to
I can't
whatever.
remember what it's called. It's probably like the King's Stone or something. There's a rock in Scotland or Ireland or whatever.
If that's how they filter their ideas about their life,
I swear to God,
then
that's what has been the claim of European kings for the past centuries to their divine right to rule, is this frickin' rock in a church in Scotland.
Okay, well, obviously the way that humanity is corrupt, it's obviously not the full story of what.
Isn't that funny? We're all arguing about a bunch of rocks. The Muslims got their black rock inside of another rock that they kiss, and we got our rock over here.
Black
there's
rock.
Plymouth Rock. There's Black Rock.
Do you think that has any kind of affiliation with
No, Black Rock is Rupus Niger, Mount Zion, that fucking magnetic.
Mount Zion?
Yeah, the magnetic mountain.
So people say that Black Rock is run by Zionists.
Well, yeah, but that's just,
anyone could say that, right? But I mean, I don't even know much about that stuff. But hey, the fact that there is a was it a corporation that's said to be the wealthiest in the world, and now it's like I didn't hear about BlackRock
This
until like 2 years
Rufus
ago.
Niger, the mountain in the fucking, what is it, the South Pole? The mountain in the North Pole, magnetic rock. If you look at you can find a video of it every once in a
So
while.
it has something to do with the magnetic pole of the North Pole?
Well, yeah. But, you know, it depends on which, and here's your fucking, here's your Windows logo, the four sections there. So there are these 4 rivers that come off of the mountain. Basically,
I think it's kind of a stretch to say that's the full inspiration for the Windows logo.
basically, yeah, but you dive deep enough into this shit, like, you look at the pictures of all the different demonic sigils and how they are exactly the Bluetooth logo and the Windows logo and everything. Here's like a picture of a real old map of it. To what degree, in our normal understanding of the way the world works, this has an effect, I'm not sure. But within the elite Masonic idea, and the Masons themselves at the highest level believe in this flat earth shit. I learned about flat earth studying the Masons long before, like a decade ago, literally more, like 14 years ago or something. I was watching real long documentaries in the darkest corners of the internet to learn about some of the concepts in Masonry that are just being brought up now. And this is one of them. And so you sit next to the beach with your cup of beer, and the ocean gets sloshed around by the gravity of the moon, supposedly. Yet your beer stays perfectly stationary, and your bladder isn't doing all kinds of crazy stuff in your pants. So
Look.
they believe that there's actually some kind of an electromagnetic pulsing going on from this location that
I'm
pushes
sure there
and pulls
is.
the
I'm
water out.
sure there is, but it doesn't mean that they're important. Look, the way that this masonry thing works is people literally using ideas of their own sorcery to think that they're cool because they have some kind of usage of trying to manipulate people's ideas and trying to be secretive about it and trying to add symbols into things. It doesn't do much. They have money.
You said it. You
money
said it.
can be used as sorcery.
I could have said it much better myself. I could have said it much better myself. All right, the fundamental principle of Masonry is that there is no secret of Freemasonry other than you can control people with the allurement of a secret.
All right, someone could build a freaking sandcastle. It doesn't matter.
If I'm a 33rd degree and you're a 3rd degree,
the idea that there's high levels of
the
Masons,
big hidden
high
knowledge,
levels of
the
government,
big,
whatever.
the big hidden knowledge,
It's people
and all
literally,
the special secrets.
literally thinking that they are special in
Better
their brain
follow
about what
along
they
with
do.
the game plan and pay your tithes and do your rituals and stuff if you want to learn the big secrets. Yeah, you can control people.
What
by
they want is a
enticing them
destruction
with
of
a secret.
witnesses. They want an actual idea that they destroy someone's witness to where the person thinks they have another witness. Then they actually destroy that idea of the other witness to make someone think that they're an imagination to what they're looking at. It's actually, they're just trying to create these bypasses about people's ideas of what their mind is to what their brain is to what their life is. And like proxies of control or whatever. They have money and they have...
It's psychological pockets of superiority where you've otherized every other human being on the planet, similar to like Jews calling us goyim, right?
Yeah,
Cattle.
It still doesn't
Frickin'
matter. They're just guilty of whatever shit they've done.
In your head, because you know the stuff you know, you see yourself as different.
Sure.
the elitist. And so, because you know about methylene blue and iodine and the whale oil and fucking, you know, a dozen of zeolites and shilajit and a dozen other minerals and vitamins, right? Sean Parker, Facebook CEO. I'm going to live longer than you because I have more money and better access to healthcare. So eventually we'll end up with a pool of super elites that are in their hundreds or whatever, hundreds of years old. We're just going to stomp around on you like
that's
bugs.
not the realistic
You
idea.
only got an 80-year lifespan. I'm going to be 150 still making
They
money.
might have health care, but it doesn't mean that they live for a billion
Well,
years.
what's his name? You know, that thinks he's going to reanimate his dad in an AI. What's this guy's name? Futurist, transhumanist, wants to reconstruct his father's personality in AI. See if we... Ray Kurzweil, maybe. Yep, Ray Kurzweil. Ray Kurzweil, he's like you. He takes 1,000 vitamins a day. He wants to live as long as possible.
He's
so
not
that
like me.
He's got everything.
Lots of people take supplements and they're not like me.
I gotta go to the bathroom, so I'm gonna have to dip the hell out of here. But yeah, he takes more supplements than you. He takes like a gajillion supplements a day. He's got everything his dad ever written down or said anywhere documented, and he wants to put it all in an AI so that he can have his dad back. Oh, aren't you the frickin' touching, sad globalist sweetheart? You know?
Well, that's what's known about someone publicly. I'm just saying that whatever their discretion of their excuses is, they know who they've deceived is who they deceived. And they know that there's other people that they just want to favor some people and not other people, and
Well,
so
but so
money
that's
and
the
power
point,
or
is
whatever,
that
they're sorcery.
At the end of it, we're gonna end up with Matt Damon's Elysium, or the Halo ring, or the world in the anime One Piece, or insert your favorite property here where the elite live on a space station outside of our orbit, right?
Dude, people
And-
who have that much money know that they're not going to be living for a billion years. They just want to have a lot of money and maybe be corrupt. Maybe just have an agreement that they work for something that's not.
What about homeboy there who's in his 60s and he's making himself look like he's 30 by injecting himself with his son's stem cells?
Maybe they do that.
Famous guy there biohacking.
Maybe they do that, but either way,
That's
it
just
doesn't mean that. Look, they're delusional about thinking that they
that's
can
just
be secretive and stupid and
normalizing
get away with it.
adrenochrome. It's just a normalizing adrenochrome. Well, that's been your news recap. Green Hill Radio, New World Order News, the most banned group on Facebook, bringing you the truth, no matter how bad it hurts. Ow!
The most bands
The most banned.
of